You know, one of the saddest things that I see on the various social medias is how women like to weaponize their children to get back at their exes and post things on the internet, usually to get sympathy or clicks and likes, without realizing that, sure, they may get their ex, but the one they're really getting is their child. For example,
"This message is for my son's father and my son's father only. If you're not him, just keep on scrolling."
who are we kidding here? If that message was only for your son's father, you could have sent it through a text or one of those apps that they have that the family courts actually like for the parents to communicate back and forth. You know, the ones that keep a log of everything that's being said. And I'd bet my bottom dollar the real reason you didn't go that route is because you didn't want the judge to see what you said. And you figured you could put it out on the internet and no one would ever see it. Well, the internet is forever. You chose to go public, to put it out on the internet, thinking you've covered yourself by saying, well, if you're not him, just scroll on by. It's not your business. And based on the number of comments and likes that you got on that video, it is anything but private between you and your ex. Let's continue.
I just got your little court paperwork. And I have a question, okay? I have a serious question. How the fuck are you gonna take me back to court and request more time with your kid when you haven't even been following the court order for the past 3 years?
Now, if you were to actually go to that video and read all the comments, all the women are believing every word she said. But here's the thing. You see, I talk to the guys that are on the other side of these, and you will never hear their side of the story. She's certainly not going to put you in connection with her ex to see what he has to say. She's counting on the fact that she can put it out there and everyone's going to believe her, so she can play the victim, the heroic single mother fighting for her child. A child who, by the way, has now been put on blast on the internet. You see, by attacking her ex and trying to get back at him, well, she's also put the target straight on her child. Now, who knows how old that child is, but as I said earlier, the internet is forever. One day, the odds are that child is going to see that video, or his friends will, or his other relatives will. And think about how that child's going to feel when they find out about it. This, by the way, is a very classic indication of parental alienation. This is how alienators operate. They're so focused on getting back at the targeted parent that they don't see the harm that they're doing to their child, nor in most cases do they even care. In fact, they consider it to be beneficial to the child.
How? Can you tell me how that makes sense?
Again, a very classic symptom of parental alienation. They can't understand why the father is fighting back, fighting to see their child. It doesn't make sense to them, which is why they seek out supporters and allies to back them up, to support their alienating behavior. And they'll say and do anything to get that support, even at the expense of the child. So let me share some words of wisdom from a former alienated child and someone whose child was alienated from him. The person that is being hurt the most here is the child. And unfortunately, the damage is already done. And sadly, even after they figure it out, they're going to face the devastating effects of what's happened for the rest of their lives. I know. I speak from experience. Alienators don't believe that they're going to get caught. They believe that they're going to be believed. And often they are for extensive periods of time. But in my experience, almost always, eventually, the truth comes out. And that child is going to turn against her completely. And no, that's not a good thing either. But it's absolutely understandable. It's what I did, and it's what millions of other alienated children have done. Whether you're a mother or father, it's irrelevant. If you're using the child as a weapon against your ex, you are probably guilty of alienation. And you need to take a hard, long look at yourself and ask yourself, why? What is the benefit to the child you claim to love? Because there isn't one. And it truly breaks my heart when I see these things happen. If you want to learn more about parental alienation and the devastating effects it has on a child, check out this podcast that I did with Maddie from the Anti-Alienation Project.